Okay, we are walking through the armor of God. We are up to the fourth piece of the armor now, which is the shield of faith. There are six of them. We've been through three, and this is where Paul is laying out the armor of God for us to use in our spiritual battle that all of us are going through against Satan. Ephesians 6:16, in all circumstances, take up the shield of faith with which you can extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one. Now, there are three things I want to point out to you here about this verse. Now, number one, in all circumstances, it starts out. You know, this is an everywhere, all the time thing. We always have to be on our guard, knowing that the spiritual battle is going around us, and to have the armor of God around us at home, with our spouses and our kids, at work, co-workers and vendors, and we're all susceptible to it everywhere in our neighborhoods. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the use of the shield is to extinguish the flaming arrows, the flaming darts of the evil one. And those darts come in the form of lies, temptations, especially shame or guilt. So we take up the shield of faith to guard against those darts that that Satan will throw against us. And finally, the shield itself is our faith. That's our faith that we can use to extinguish the darts of the evil one. So there's a section in Hebrews that I really like about faith. The first part of Hebrews 11 is titled Faith in Action. And it starts by defining what faith is, and then gives a list of quite a few, in fact, you can't list them all, as you'll see in a second, of ancients, he calls them, characters in the Bible from past that exercised faith in God. And what's curious is that they didn't even have the Bible like we have. They were on their own. They had faith in God without the Bible, and without the advantage that we have of having the Bible and Scripture and all of the books that we have access to. It was just them and their faith in God. So Hebrews 11, starting in verse 1 now. Faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we don't see. It's confidence in what we're hoping for and assurance about what we don't see. This is faith. We don't see it, and we still have confidence, and we put our faith in something that we can't see. That's what this is all about. Continuing on, this is what the ancients, verse 2, were commended for. Now, the ancients were the characters of the Bible. We're going to go through quite a few of them here. Verse 4, by faith Abel brought God a better offering than Cain did. By faith he was commended as righteous when God spoke well of his offerings. Verse 5, by faith Enoch was taken from this life so that he did not experience death. Verse 7, by faith Noah became heir of the righteousness that is in keeping with faith. Verse 8, by faith Abraham obeyed and went even though he did not know where he was going. It was credited to him as righteousness. Verse 11, and by faith even Sarah, who was past childbearing age, was enabled to bear children because she considered him faithful who had made the promise. Verse 20, by faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau in regard to their future. So again, faith is the assurance of what we don't see. And these people were thousands of years before Jesus, and that was their relationship with God. What they saw in creation and what they knew of God in their hearts, they put their faith in God, and God knew their hearts. They knew they had put their faith in him, and God credited to them as righteousness. Continuing, verse 24, by faith Moses refused to be known as son of Pharaoh's daughter. Verse 29, by faith the people passed through the Red Sea as on land. Verse 30, by faith the walls of Jericho fell. And finally, verse 32, and what more shall I say? I don't have time to tell you about Gideon and Barak, Samson and Jephthah, about David and Samuel and the prophets. So on and on and on, these people, these ancients, had faith in God that they did not see, but they had faith in him. So it is by our faith that we extinguish the darts of the evil one. So keep that in mind. It's all about our faith and keeping that strong in God. It's always got to be top of mind. So hey, that's it. We'll be back with the 5th part of the armor. Hey, until then, if you have any prayer requests or if there's something confidential you'd like to chat about, there's a link to a contact form on my website down below. You can use that link, fill out the form, I'll get it, and I'd be glad to reach out to you and connect. That would be great. So hey, until then, God bless you, and we will be back then.